Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime. It's your girl
Ruka
and Big Boy Summer here bringing you a part 2 of Hot or Not.
Welcome to this episode of Hot or Not Part 2. Today, DOROHEDORO is in the hot seat again. We've already judged the first episode and binged the entire season. Is this anime certified hot or just a waste of time?
As usual, like, share and subscribe. You know what it is. Let's get right into it.
By the time I got to the last episode of the anime, I had a really bad taste in my mouth. This could have very well been a 25 episode anime, but instead we got 12, leaving us no closer to any answers than we were in the beginning. I thought it was a strange choice to drag out the whole Nikaido is a sorcerer storyline when it was pretty obvious she was a sorcerer from episode 2. But on the flip side to that, there is a lot that this anime gets right. Mappa is here telling us they're not here to play with us this year. The way so many of the character stories interweave is done really well, and none of it is rushed. I stand by what I said in Hot or Not Part 1. Humanity is given to everyone regardless of how badly they act, and I really love how they explain how connected everyone is, and the exploration of all characters.
Yeah, for me, I feel similar to you in the sense that, you know, I had that bad taste in my mouth as well. And I think I said this to you around episode 10 going, they're not going to answer nothing, are they?
That's the exact feeling I had when I was watching. Me and Big Boy Sam actually watched this separately. And when I got to the last episode, I was just like, they really are not going to answer our questions. I was in disbelief. I watched the whole last episode in disbelief.
But saying that, as Ruka just said, they did a lot right. The journey was fantastic. I loved it entirely. And even though I did feel a little bit away about it at the end, I loved it. And I would definitely carry on if they bring out more episodes.
I definitely felt a little bit cheated. I'm not going to lie. I felt really cheated because there were so many questions. And they only answered very minor questions that really we could have done without knowing.
To be honest, some of the themes that they brought up as well, I thought was amazing. I mean, like the whole existential themes through Kaiman and knowing who he is. And because he didn't know who he is, he didn't know who he was or where he was going. So constantly, his comic relief came from the standpoint that he would lost. And I really thought, you know what? Wow, they've written this beautifully into the story. And another thing as well, which is just a little note. How come all the bad boy sorcerers deal with food? Just saying. En was a ramen guy. The boss for Kaiman was a meat pie maker. Nikaido, we see her with food a lot. Let's be fair. There are some bangers with some food stuff here. And I don't know, does it speak to the euphoria of food? And how food is sort of like gangster?
Do you need a snack?
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry right now, I'm not gonna lie.
No, but you're making actually a decent point. There are like quite a few sorcerers in here that do actually deal with food, and I love the interpretation of it. But I kind of like the sorcerer's powers in general. For instance, Shin can chop you up and leave you alive. That is a terrifying ability, especially the way that he has used it in this season.
Yep.
Shin's my favourite.
Shin's your favourite? Mm-hmm. For me, it's Nikaido. I'm not gonna lie. She is powerful, and yet we're still not seeing her powers.
But we know what her powers are.
Yeah. She
can control time. We don't know what that means because she's refusing to use her powers. But did she kind of already break her promise? She said she's never gonna use it again. She said she promised herself that she was never gonna use it again. But when Shin and Noi chopped off Kaiman's head, yeah, Nikaido used her black smoke to create a door to save them both.
Yeah.
Why not just go all the way? I just don't understand. Why are you doing half measures?
Well, I guess it's like, you know, people who say, I'm not going to eat chocolate. And then out of nowhere they go, this one Mars bar won't hurt.
No.
Yes, fam.
No. This is a lifelong promise that she made as a child. We saw Nikaido in Shin's backstory selling food, and she was already in the hole. So she's been here for a very long time, and from before that moment when whatever happened to her friend happened because of her magic, she made the promise not to use it ever again, and she has used it. and then she promised Kaiman after the fact that she wasn't going to use it.
Well, I'm saying that she probably loves Kaiman to the extent that he's the only person worth breaking her promise for. And I'm glad, as I said in the first episode, this isn't a love story between two main characters.
I don't know about that.
Really?
Yeah.
You think she loves him?
I think they might love each other.
Nah.
No, for real.
Am I blind, fam?
I think so.
Get out of here.
They're both doing extreme things for each other, and they're both putting their beliefs aside for the other. Kaiman hates all sorcerers.
All of them. He wants them all deaded.
But he's put it aside and told her that she's basically an honorary human. Nikaido said she was not going to use any magic, and instead she's used it to save his life.
Is that in love or just love? Because, like, this is an anime. We all know what the power of friendship means in the anime world, so...
Multiple people have asked each of them how they feel about the other, and both of them have been embarrassed about even being questioned.
Oh, come on, man. If that was your friend, you'd do the same thing. No, man, that's just my boy. Or no, man, that's just my girl. Come on, like, how else do you react if that's the truth?
I'm getting the same vibe from Noi and Shin.
Yeah, them two definitely want to do more than kill people together.
I think their story is really cute. I love how they met.
Yeah.
I love how she saved his life. They're both naturally very nice people. They're very good inside. Although we see them do so many awful things throughout the season, they're both quite soft-hearted people.
Yeah, very soft. And again, as you said, with Nikaido and Kaiman, Noi broke her vow to save Shin.
Yeah, and actually, she
man.
was going to become a devil, and on the very last day, like, she only had 1 day left. Oh man, that was sad. But at the same time, it kind of worked out for everyone because En didn't want to lose her, they're cousins, and he clearly has strong family feelings towards her.
Yeah, defo.
And also Shin didn't want to lose her either, so I think it worked out for the best that she ended up not being a devil. I really like the Doctor that helped pretty much anyone. He has his own set of rules on who he values as a person, and he just sticks to his own ideals. He doesn't care whether you're a sorcerer or what.
Is this the Doctor or the Professor? The young boy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Professor. Doc is the other guy, isn't it? He's the Doctor, really.
Okay, so the Professor chopped up Shin and found his pipes so that he could use magic, and we're just going to call him a Professor.
Yeah, that's better than the Doctor, but I'm just saying. So, I think the Professor, he's just an agent of chaos put in this whole show. He is the most genuine psychopath in the show.
How is he a psychopath?
He doesn't care who you are, he just wants to find out more about sorcery. He's very one-track minded in that situation. He is calm while getting beaten up. Like, his disassociation ability is off the scales, bro.
I don't know if I fully agree with that. Like, okay, I get what you're saying. When he was trapped and he was getting beaten, he did smile throughout the whole thing. But I don't think that he only cares about magic. Yes, that is a big part of what he's searching for, but we don't really know why. He said that a sorcerer practiced on him and turned him into a child, so he might be doing exactly what Kaiman is doing, trying to discover more about magic so he can turn himself back.
He got off lucky, being turned into a child that lives for ages.
I mean, look at what poor Nikaido has dealt with throughout this episode. She's had mushrooms sprouting out of her back.
Yeah.
She got kidnapped from the hospital and had some actual psychopath try to take balls from her.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I don't know how to make that sound any better than what it was.
Yeah.
Like, she almost got turned into a bug. I just feel sorry for her. Like, come on, use your time magic. She could have died in a couple of those situations.
The joke of the matter is, even the devil Asu, who I think is in love with Nikaido, by the way, turned around to her and said, yo, bro, like, what are you wasting your time for? Go back in time and figure out the answers to all these questions. Come on.
I don't think so. Because if Asu is in love with her, he's like a devil. And I don't think that's the case. Now that we know that devils can be made from a sorcerer, they're all going to have their own thoughts and feelings about different things.
Yes, that's true.
Because they're not necessarily just born as a devil.
Yeah, they're not.
So if Noi had become a devil, she would have probably been a kinder person.
Yeah, a kinder
devil.
Yeah.
So we don't know who Asu was before. It would be nice if we found out a bit more, because I really like the way that we are shown everyone's backstory. We see everyone and meet them where they're at. Like, we even had N become more of a human person.
Yeah, that's true.
And we also found out why people are always trying to attack him, because of his backstory. There's a battle in the sorcerer's world between those people who wanted to use powerful sorcerer's smoke,
Yeah,
and the powerful sorcerers. And it's quite a twist, because you wouldn't think that it would be a battle between the most powerful sorcerers, with them being the victims.
nah, not at all. I love that. That was very creative. So yeah, I mean, in the sorcerer's world, it's all like gangster warfare between, as you said, the strongest and the weakest trying to exploit the strongest, where they're getting, tapped for their smoke. And it's a weird dynamic in the sorcerer world where you see lots of interactions and it feels sort of normal, and the underground is really just out there and extraordinary. People are getting turned into mushrooms. People are just fighting over who's got the best pie. And people are traveling to prisons to deliver pies and stuff. It's mad. I love it.
On the mirrored side of that, in the whole, remember I was talking about how strange it is that everyone is just allowing the sorcerers to experiment on them, and no one's doing anything, and there was no news reports warning people about the sorcerers, and there was none of that.
Yeah.
And then we found out about this whole war on sorcerers that was happening in the whole, where there was a whole housing association. I thought that was so funny that it was a housing association.
Them nosy people, them.
HOA. So you had a housing association basically waging war on sorcerers, finding them out, putting bounties on their heads, and getting rid of all of them. And the person who brought a whole stop to that was Shin.
Shin was a one-man wrecking crew, fam. He went through all of them like it was nothing, bro.
But you can understand why he did that. He was just a normal human as far as he knew. They murdered his mom, and you could tell that his mom wasn't even doing anything bad.
Nope.
Because she was just grocery shopping.
Yep.
They found her out, murdered her before he even had a chance to know who she was. And then they murdered his dad, who was such a kind person. And they tortured him and left him in the house for Shin to find. Oh my god, they left him for Shin to find.
The way they did Shin was so dirty that I'm sorry. If that was me, I would have probably did exactly what Shin did, fam.
And then he just ended the whole housing association, chopped them all up to pieces and left them alive.
Nobody is coming back from that. There is no way you're going to build another housing association knowing full well what happened to the last one, bro.
And also, I want to know what happened to them, because they were still alive when they were chopped up. What happened to them? The professor had them. What did he do with them? Is that how he first started getting as much, magic knowledge as he had?
Maybe, but I have a theory that Shin came back for him, took him all, and then gave him to N to make him into mushrooms. I don't know, that's just my theory.
Fair enough. And also, Kaiman as well, even though he was so mad when he finally decided to believe that Nikaido was a sorcerer at the end, before that, he went back into the sorcerer's world and he made sorcerer friends. He treated them with respect and kindness. It was just strange.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to keep his cover, but then his cover became reality. And to be fair, these sorcerers backed him. They didn't even know, man. They just backed him. They're like, okay, you're in trouble, let me help you out.
But he did that first.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he saw, I don't even think that was his cover.
Really?
Cover for what? He didn't know who they were or what they did or anything. He saw someone getting bullied and he intervened.
That's true. Kaiman is a good guy at heart, really. And I think he's realised that whether you're a sorcerer or not, you can be good.
Yeah, but I think that the whole Nikaido thing bothered him so much because he felt like he had been being lied to the whole time. She got very close to him and didn't tell him the truth. But at the same time, he didn't want the truth, so don't play games with Nikaido acting like she was so much of a liar when you didn't want to hear it. Multiple people told you she was a sorcerer, and you chose to ignore that.
Yeah, but
she tried to tell him multiple times, and he intentionally cut her off.
She tried.
That was intentional.
And you can still get your words out, love. I'm just saying, look, I'm not saying what Nikaido did was wrong. I'm not saying that Kaiman's reaction was wrong. What I'm saying is that if it was you and someone that was close to you knew something, a little bit more information of the thing you were looking for to find out who you were, you'd be peed off too. And obviously you're not going to believe other people. They're not your kin. Like, she is your kin from day one. She's the one that's been with you the whole time. She feeds you, bruv.
She named him.
And she named him, bruv.
So he should understand exactly why she did what she did.
And she should understand that she deserves to be a little bit bollocked at the moment.
She immediately did. She said, once he finds out, we will no longer be able to be friends. And she was really sad that she was going to lose someone that she was very close to. Nikaido's not close to anyone.
That's because she can't be.
She's been here this whole time since a child. So who raised her?
She was raised by these streets.
You're a mess. I want to talk about Blue Night as well because I found that so interesting. I really liked the whole idea of the festival where you make contracts with each other. And then it had kind of a twisted, dark side to it as well, where you can actually force someone to contract with you and then you can control the person you're contracted to.
It was beautiful up until those points you just said, yeah. The festival seemed happy, it was jovial, people were eating and drinking, it was like a carnival.
Yeah.
With a sort of slave master controlling contract.
But it didn't seem like most people did that. It seemed like that was really not the norm.
No.
Because throughout the festival you saw people handing in applications, much like a job.
Yeah.
Or people wanting to partner with people they liked or were friends with, or worked well together with. We've only seen 3 people actually abuse Blue Night. Those are En and the 2 people who wanted to contract with Shin and Noi.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's it. That's it,
just those 3. And everyone else seemed to be alright. Poor Vegeta though, I have to just say. That guy couldn't get a contract in the end with Ibisu.
I know, that was a comic relief. Ibisu is the comic relief in this anime because it's so dark a lot of the time and the subject matters can be heavy at times. And Ibisu is just here making up songs, mocking people, turning into a zombie, getting her face ripped off, like
that
wearing really weird fashions that no one can figure out how to put on her.
That face ripped off part wasn't funny. I mean, it's funny now, but remember at the time when everyone was like, "Oh my god."
Okay, that was really disgusting. But I stand by what I said. She's the comic relief in this whole thing, just making things a little bit lighter throughout the whole thing.
I agree.
So, what do you think about this anime, really? Do you think that we should judge it as hot, or was it a waste of our time?
So, was it a waste of my time? Absolutely not. I loved the hell out of this anime, and I thought it was great, and I can't wait to see if there's a season 2. Please give me a season 2. It's definitely a hot from me.
You see, this is what worries me with these animes. Sometimes you get one season of your anime, you love it, and then you have to wait 4 or 5 years for season 2.
Attack on Titan.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. You've got Attack on Titan, and I've just heard that Classroom of Daily are getting a season 2.
What? They're getting a season 2?
We've waited for that as well. Like, there's so many animes like this. I just hope DOROHEDORO is not going to be one of those where you have to wait for years to get a season 2. I am saying that this is a hot. I really loved it. The only complaint is that I wanted more episodes.
I wanted more. Give me more.
So this episode is certified hot.
Hot, baby.
Thanks for joining us, part 2 of our Hot or Not with DOROHEDORO.
Please like, share and subscribe and meet us in the comments. Peace.